Okay, we are live here. This is Dave Moss from DMoss Media, and we are talking to.
How's it going, guys? My name is Christopher Chen. I'm from Nest Seekers International in Summit, New Jersey. The owner of the Unlock a J Homes team.
Nice. So tell us about your company. How did you first get into the real estate business?
I started about almost about over 4 years ago. I walked into, I actually made a call online, on TV. I'm not in New York, and I was watching a couple of shows, while I was taking a little staycation from my retail job when I was working in the city at that time. And, I realized at that point that I wanted to try real estate. And, I made some calls and I took the class.
Oh, nice. So pretty much you just did a big career change. What were you doing before that?
I sold T-Mobile phones in New York City. And actually, I was working at T-Mobile around 46 and 6, right by the
Oh,
Diamond
wow.
District. Working with a lot of,
Oh, nice.
big jewelers and helping them put together business accounts.
Oh, nice, nice. So that's definitely a big move, right? Go from phones to real estate. So was that challenging for you, or how was that switch?
What really helped me was my background in graphic design, and being able to, having a combination of retail plus my graphic design capabilities, I was able to combine both of them, and combine both skills and just kind of put some pieces together. And, next, I had a pretty strong marketing.
Yeah, that's definitely got to help. That's the thing. I see a lot of people just go into real estate with literally no marketing experience, and they come from a total different area, like like a beauty salon or like working at a retail store, or just going at least kind of some kind of sales is good because obviously you're selling houses, but you have to have some kind of background dealing with people in sales. That's good.
Oh yeah, and actually, I interned for a company called BBDO when I was about 18 or 19. It was a big advertising corp in the city as well, who did work for like companies like Pepsi, Motorola, AT&T, Gillette, Campbell's Soup, etc. So
Oh, wow.
being in that environment, just taught me a lot about how to market and how to leverage what I was able to do in the marketing world.
Nice, nice. So you've been in real estate for 4 years. You got your license. It's been 4 years so far, or what's the total amount?
It was October 2015,
Okay,
so a little bit
okay,
over 4.
yeah. A little over 4 years. Yeah. Wow. So yeah, you seem. I was looking at your profile. You seem like you're pretty successful. You're doing pretty good. Because I see some people that were in the real estate business for 10 years and they still don't get it right. I know it takes a lot of work. So
It's a combination
um,
of hard work. It's definitely hard work and dedication, and I know a lot of realtors give up, within the first year itself. And I can tell you right now, in the first couple of years was definitely not the easiest. I saw sparks of success every here and there, but outside of that, it was just like, all right, so just clawing, just clawing through. I didn't because I was working in retail in the beginning, I didn't have time to just say, hey, what, I'm going to just jump onto a team and give that dedication to a team, because of the fact of the matter is I knew I couldn't do that. So I had to figure it out step by step as I went. Every little bit, every little bit I went through the process.
yeah, exactly. Hello, you
It
there?
was a process. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm still
okay.
here.
Okay,
Can you
yeah,
hear
yeah. I
me?
hear you. All right, good. Yeah, yeah. No, it definitely is. And everybody always says it's like, from what I hear from experience and talking to people, it's just the first one is the toughest. What was your experience like selling the first house? Was that hard, or how did that process go when you sold your first one?
Ironically, my first listing, I put pretty quickly before I get the listing. I would say probably in the first like 30 days or so, maybe 45 days.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but it took months to close. But ironically, I actually ended up picking up another listing in Providence in the process, and I was able to close that house first. So it was a couple of properties back to back. When I first got my first listing. So that was a pretty fun experience.
Oh, that's awesome. That's pretty good. Because some people, what happens is they first start off, they don't sell right away, they get discouraged, and they kind of just get away from it. So it's always nice to hear that within 30 days, at least, you got something going. because it's kind of like once you get it going,
I
it
mean,
just kind of manifests and grows, you know? Exactly. Dedication, persistence, and you have to enjoy doing what you're doing. So
yeah,
in the
I
last,
genuinely love what I do.
that's the most important thing. You got to love it. So you definitely in the last 4 to 5 years, how many do you sell? A decent amount, or how?
I think I have about 17 closed within the last 2.5, 3 years, 2 years.
Nice, nice. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
And we just recently
So
closed most expensive house ever in Springfield on
did you
the
really?
most
Wow.
expensive home ever sold. In the GSMLS, we have the most
Oh,
expensive
nice.
home ever sold. Expensive home sold in Union.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Nice. Was that? I can imagine what the home inspection was like on that one. Is that pretty intense?
it was intense. It was intense.
Yeah.
The house had an elevator.
Oh, really? Somebody usually people spending that kind of money, they want to make sure
Yeah, we
everything
have
is right where it should be. You know?
an elevator inspector. And I was like, well,
I know.
I didn't even know where to find that.
Yeah, that's a good. You don't see them too many houses like that. So that's pretty cool.
No, no.
Um, so what is Unlock New Jersey Homes? Is that a side business or is that just what is that?
I wanted to kind of create something with a little bit more diversity than just having just having a regular team name, just being the Christopher Chin team, because I felt like
Yeah.
I could eliminate the whole idea. Also at the same time, my team members and everything also feel a little bit tied to the brand in the sense that, like, example, if they wanted to create their own teams within the team at some point, it's all within the same group. So we have something incredible that we built over here specifically for that.
Yeah, it's a pretty catchy name. It's pretty cool. You came up with that. You always want to be instead of just most people are just branding themselves, but it's nice to have a name that's different and stands out. That's important. It's branding and is marketing is everything now. You know, online, Facebook. So that's really important.
100%.
Okay.
And, it allows me to expand in ways, in the future. So if I wanted to get my license in another city or another state,
Yeah.
hypothetically, then I could utilize that branding itself and transfer it over to that specific state.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's true. You're not limited. So how do you market? What's your particular way of marketing?
My particular way of marketing is, I like to connect myself with local businesses. I do a lot of marketing for local businesses. I call it we call it the local business spotlight, where, we write articles about what other businesses are doing. Example, we just launched the Unlock NJ Homes Monthly, which is a magazine that I put together over the process. And I highlighted, businesses like Chaffee's Pizzeria in Springfield and Boxwood Coffee and Summit in Westfield on what they were doing during the quarantine and how they were, going out of their way to deliver food and coffee to healthcare workers that were working in the front line of the hospitals for COVID-19.
Nice.
So
Yeah, that's great.
exactly. Just trying to give back, trying to give a little bit of love to the community itself, and just hopefully hopefully people will just recognize us as local business, experts, and just by recognizing the fact that we know the neighborhood, we care about the neighborhood, that we love the neighborhood, that's what matters in the long run.
Yeah, exactly. Because when this is all over, a lot of people are going to look back and say, "Who are you? What did you do? Did you just?" If you're going to be outnumbered by the small majority of people who are trying to take advantage of the situation, or are you somebody who actually tried to help and not worry about money right now? So right now, it's not about money. It's a life safety issue. Life is a top priority.
Who you come out as afterwards is going to speak in loud volumes. So
Exactly.
I really do believe.
That's what I believe, because obviously we think positive. It's all going to work out. It just takes time. We're doing everything we can. We're all working together. So it's just a matter of time. So is there a particular platform you prefer on social media platforms as far as Facebook, Instagram, YouTube?
I like the combination of Facebook and Instagram, just because, obviously Instagram, you kill two birds with one stone. As a matter of fact, you kill four birds with one stone, but I don't really use Tumblr, but Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram are all in the same piece. So if you're posting something on Facebook, on Instagram, you send it to Facebook and through Twitter as well. So you might as
Right.
well take advantage of Instagram, just hitting 3 platforms all in one shot. I have been trying to utilize LinkedIn a little bit more lately. And also during the quarantine, I've been, whatever videos I've been doing, I've been uploading to my YouTube channel as well. So just, whatever it is that, as you, whatever, in our businesses itself, it's all about a numbers game, and just marketing itself is a numbers game. So why not hit every platform that we could, access?
Exactly. The more, the better. The more different spaces you're in, the better the opportunities you are, and it gives a chance more for the public to look at different areas that you serve too. Whatever, like on YouTube, you can see the longer videos of what you're doing. Facebook, you see the pictures. So yeah, that's pretty good.
It's free
Um,
advertising. Why not try?
right, exactly. Yeah, that's right. It's got to know how to use it. And obviously now it's flooding with everybody on it. The Facebook and YouTube, Instagram has never been this loaded before with their servers. I heard they're almost getting overloaded. So because this is way more than normal usage. People have all this time. A lot of people are starting media businesses, doing stuff online that they haven't been doing. So it's really flooded now. Okay, so you have any interesting stories that you'd like to share about as far as selling houses or real estate that's happened to you in the course when you've been in business?
I mean, I've been pretty blessed, I've been able to do some pretty incredible, I've been able to have some, some pretty incredible, some things that are not really as common as most. I was able to save 2 families from foreclosure on the same exact street in Roselle, which is pretty
Oh, really?
interesting. So I thought that I sold my first property, actually, my first listing was 1311 Crescent Avenue in Roselle. We had, the first 2 offers we had, fell apart because, the buyer decided to pull out last minute, both times.
Yeah.
The third offer, we were about, we went under contract. There was an oil tank. So we had to remove the tank. So we had to get a permit to remove the tank. We had to fix a couple of roof issues because we had to convert the buyer's loan from an FHA to a 203K loan.
Right.
And when that happened, the pushback multiple times is I would tell the seller here, you can take a chance. If you want, we don't have to go back, hit the market again. I'm pretty sure someone else will buy the property, but we already went back onto the market 3 other times. So I was like, we probably should just stick this one through. So we did.
Yeah.
Months down the road, we found out. He told me that they're because of the time looking everything, they were looking on potentially, they're getting calls about getting their cars repossessed. And they
Oh,
also
God.
own another property. And
Yeah.
they're paying mortgages,
Yeah.
which you're getting backed up on over on that specific property as well. So
Yeah.
long story short, they were very close to losing both properties.
Oh, wow.
So I saved that, that family, and then a couple of months, I sent out a letter out to, I sent out a couple of letters on the same exact street about, just telling everyone here, we just closed this property on 1311. Give me a call if you're looking on selling. So I got a call from another property on the same exact street, 1252 Crescent Avenue. Was a very interesting one specifically because the seller initially was trying to do her own renovation. I'm just going to do some renovations. Let's just hit the market on, in like 3 months. We had some paperwork. They already signed off on it. And, I was actually working for a stager at that point, at that time, because I actually quit my retail job. And I started working with the stager out in Michelina, who's one of the top stagers in the entire country.
Oh,
And when I
wow.
started working with her, I was actually at a property, and I met one of the investors on one of the listings, and I was like, "Here, I got a property in Roselle, on the
Yeah.
market. We'll bring you an offer." So he came in with an offer for 150.
Right.
So this is supposed to be great shining light glory. We got a property under contract 40, 60 days before market. So I was really excited about that. But so months down, a couple of 45 days down the road, we're days away from closing. I get a call from the attorney saying that we're not closing because the owner the property than what they told you. They owed about $250,000 in property, and
Right.
the buyer obviously wasn't going to come up for 150 to 250, so we had to go into a whole process where that's when I met Matt Marinoff, who is the owner of RRG, which is Real Estate Recovery Group. He's a short sale negotiator. He helped me out with this deal specifically, and what happened was we were working with the banks, him and his team on Leah and everyone else that was involved with that as well. We got involved. We got into that deal. We were negotiating that deal for about like or so because we had some really the couple had a husband and a wife that were
Right.
so at this point that they get a divorce. They literally were
No.
basically at each other at points. Like I remember going to the property one
Yeah.
day to get, waiting for the signed paperwork, and the husband walks in,
Yeah.
get into an argument. The husband literally walks out, and I'm just sitting there like, is he going to sign the paperwork? And
Oh my God. You never know what you say.
it was crazy. It was one of the craziest
Oh my
things.
God.
But, long story short, we ended
Yeah.
up getting the deal
Yeah.
closed. The seller ended up working deal. We ended up, thanks to Matt Marinoff, we were able to get them down to 135. Well, the sale price ended up being 134 for 900 to be exact. Seller, the buyer ended up listing the property again about a couple of months after that. We ended up for 370, listing it for 359. So we sold it very, very quickly in 6 days to be exact.
Oh wow. Really, 6 days is pretty good. Yeah, it goes to show you that direct mail and paper still works. You said you started off with that letter, and look what it turned into. Because a lot of people think, oh, the direct mail days are over, but some people just are always going to read their mail, and it works. It never hurts to try it,
I think every tactic is necessary. Like I utilize emails. Emails, door knocking. Certain towns have the towns allow you to door knock still. I think it is efficient in certain towns. Mailers are very efficient just because people still like to look and read their mail. Postcards are efficient because having
like you said, if you go to the
just having something to present to them. I like to combine the mailers with what I like to do is like mailers specifically, and like I like to put some stuff in the back of the mailer, and I'll put some flyers behind it. I'll put something like what we've done in recently in the back of the mailer specifically, and I'll slip that into an envelope and I'll mail.
Right. Yeah. No, that's a good idea. Like you said, it's good to dip your feet in every little space, because if you go to the 80-20 rule, you usually get 20%. So if you try every little space and 20% works, you have better odds instead of just trying to put all your eggs in one basket and relying on like Facebook or free marketing, social media. It's not always going to be 100% successful. Excuse me. So
I mean, everything.
You want to try yeah.
Everything has a chance to work. Like I've been pretty successful with finding Facebook. My network is my Facebook substantially over the years and everything, and I've connected with some of the best people thanks to Facebook, and Instagram and LinkedIn. On the flip side itself, I've just being part of Facebook groups specifically, just being part of the local Facebook community group, that definitely has helped me substantially. I found people, I found posts, at points. My first deal, that 1311 Crescent ad, was just a random post that was in the Roselle group, and I just randomly ran into it. And it was, they were just looking for a sell the property. I ended up calling them, and I ended up going to take a look at the property, and I ended up, listing the property with them shortly after that. So Facebook is definitely pretty efficient. For sale by owners, I've made some cold calls. I made a couple of cold calls, and I was able to get properties offered for sale by owners just because of cold calling the property. I'm still in I've had a couple of non-successes also off of cold calls specifically, but at the same time, I'm still in communication with the seller that refuses to put it on the market through an agent.
Yeah.
But hey, we've been talking for the last year. No.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. I've gotten listings off of mailing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You really want to tap into every space a little bit is the best way to get yourself out there. You don't really want to put everything, like I said, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket because there's enough space out there where you can, not everybody goes on every space. In other words, like not everybody goes on Facebook. I still know a lot of people that don't even go on Facebook and don't even like Facebook. They'll never go on it. And the flip side, I know people that all they do is Facebook. So that's why you got to hit every area. I truly believe in that. All right. Well, do you have a final question is, how is the coronavirus affecting you and your business over the last few weeks? We know it's been rough with everybody, but how are you handling it?
Ironically, I'm a very, very aggressive, hardcore germaphobe. So like just when this, I would say towards the end of March when it really started getting, when it really started picking up a little bit before everyone started getting locked down, getting locked down through the quarantine. I started keeping myself at home already at that particular point, and I started planning just planning because everything that was happening on the news is like there's no way. I've been sitting around just planning the next steps, just creating marketing materials. The monthly magazine that we came out with was pretty big. That's just helping out the locals has been something that we've been really, really aggressive with. We've been still submitting offers and still, we've deals in the pipeline that are under contract ready to close soon. So we're really forward to that. Obviously through these times, every deal that we're closing right now is a big deal. So so we have a lot going on here, ironically.
Yeah. I was just curious, how are you doing the showings, or are you doing any showings? Because I hear all different stories. I hear cameras. I hear people going in with suits. I hear one person at a time. So
we've had showings. We have had some showings. One of my agents actually on my team has actually been doing a lot of showings for investors. But plus we're showing specific properties that are vacant. So you can set certain people go into the property, so this way we could, properly handle, the necessary social distancing.
Right, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure technology is going to be changing in the near future for a lot of different businesses. They're going to allow more camera access and more things done remotely and at home. So I know they have the one camera that goes inside the house and kind of goes through the whole thing. So I'm sure that's going to be coming down pretty soon.
Yeah, we've been using the Matterport a lot, actually. I'm so fortunate. Fortunately, all of our listings that we have on the market right now have Matterports attached to it, and I've been pretty much all over the Matterport since I started in this business. Since my first, my second listing, since I reported place in the property every listing, just because of the fact that say example, the reason why I say it specifically was literally my second listing. And I had a couple that walked into the property. Well, I had a lady that walked into the property, and I gave her the link. So I created a website, www.dirtyporterplace.com at that time, just directly dedicated to the Matterport. And I gave it to her specifically. And what she did was her husband, who was working, because they were both nurses, so they were both working before. And next thing you know, they ended up being my buyers.
Are you serious? Wow. Yeah.
So the Matterport is pretty efficient, especially.
Yeah, the way I look at it, you can do most of the process can be done without you on property. If you can, obviously, you could look it up on Zillow, you could look it up online, you could do all your research on the property on that. You could do your actually closing without, now, I'm sure you can do a closing without meeting in person. I'm sure there's a way they can get that technology down. So I believe like the only thing that's really left is actually the home inspection. If you schedule everything so the only person that has to go on the property is a home inspector, then the whole process can actually be done without you even visiting the property,
Yeah, for sure, 100%. And I love the Matterports, man. Hold on, I think I can share my screen on here, right? Is this something that's pretty cool? Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool what you can do on there. I don't know if you ever use this for, but there's a lot you can do with it.
Yeah, it's like Zoom almost, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you see what I have going on here?
It's not coming up on my. Oh yeah, there it is down there. Oh yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay. You basically this is a whole other screen. Yeah.
Yeah, so we got a Matterport right here. This is for 22 Mount Vernon and Summit right now. So as you can see, what's pretty cool about this is I can actually put this on my website, which is pretty cool, right? So this is on unlocknghomes.com. So usually a lot of these people, what they'll do is they'll give you.
I'll add it to the
Hello?
screen. There we go. There we go.
Just
Now I can see the whole thing. All right, cool. Yeah, go ahead.
So what a lot of people will do is, I think I froze over here. I apologize.
So how does that work though? You leave it in like, does it have like a motor on it or wheels? How does that work?
There's a camera that spins. It literally
Okay.
will literally spin around and capture an entire room. So what's pretty cool about this is it's kind of just like the Google Maps and the Google Streets idea, like around, and you'll literally walk around the property. So I
Oh, that's
really
really
like
cool.
using these, especially in high-end commuting towns. Like this is in Summit, right? So the the ideal type of buyer now I'm looking for is someone that's going to be looking on a commute, looking to commute and going to New York City hypothetically, right? Or someone who's,
Yeah,
because of the fact that you're so close to to a couple of train stations. Summit is a
yeah,
very, very good community town, a very strong community town, and also very, one of the best towns to live in specifically.
right.
But so by having something like this, right? Say example, someone lives in New York City, right? If I could easily just take this website and just blast this on Facebook and blast this on Instagram, blast this on LinkedIn, have someone go into the website specifically and just literally just hop in here and just take a look at the property prior to even walking into the home.
Yeah, that saves a lot of time. And I guarantee you there's people that actually use this and right away they'll know if they want it or not. Like, oh wow, I'm in love with that house. Or I don't
Yeah,
like, yeah.
exactly. And obviously, if you have a good photographer, they're going to capture this in in the light that it needs to be captured in.
So let me ask you this. Is that just one camera that does all that or is it several different ones?
It's one camera. It's called a Matterport.
Okay. I was
Um,
just curious how it gets in the rooms like that. I guess it has a special zoom on it, right?
yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
spin. It has a spinning. It has a little spinning thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah, as you can see, the little blur over here. That's
Yeah.
where it gets cut off, I guess. But
Oh,
it
nice.
literally spins around, as you can see.
Yeah, that's
So
cool.
yeah, the Matterports are awesome, and I've been using this. My team's been using this since literally since I've had my first list. My second listing.
Yeah. Now with all this going on, it's probably going to be used a lot more everywhere. So,
Oh yeah. So I'm so happy about this. So just on top of that, we have a lot of there's a lot of a lot of these photographers and videographers that are on top of the ball right now with this, and they're doing a lot to make sure that they have corona-free experiences whenever they're coming into one of these properties.
yeah,
So
that's definitely the way to do it.
yeah, they're taking good care of us. So thank God for these photographers and everything. So
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Have you ever seen or done a closing without actually meeting in person, a remote closing or a virtual closing before?
we are actually in the process of closing one right now. As a matter of fact. So yes, that has been the case.
Yeah, so pretty much, like I said, it's going to be where literally the only person that would have to go out are probably the buyers and the home inspectors. Everything
Yeah,
else is probably done from your home.
we're working on one right now in Berkeley Heights. The buyer actually lives in like Miami.
Oh, nice. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess, yeah. I mean, with all this technology, you can actually live anywhere, view the whole house, call your home inspector, have him send you the report, and you can make a decision without going there. So,
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And on top of that, title agencies. I was speaking to Clear Skies Title yesterday on our Q&A with Kathy Haddad from Atlantic Home Loans, and they were telling us how they're doing specific precautions and they're doing specific procedures to make sure that they have a clean closing. So this way they could keep a proper social distancing procedure in play.
yeah, technology. Yeah, I guess technology is really paying a huge play in this coronavirus. Like, can you imagine if this happened like maybe 50 years ago when we didn't have this technology? People they wouldn't know what to do. They'd be running around ripping their hair out.
Hey, even if this happened 10 years ago, we would have been a lot more in trouble than we are right now. So
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Without the internet, like, I wouldn't even know. Can't even imagine what it'd be like. So the internet's the lifesaver in this one. So
thank God for Zoom, right? and,
yeah,
and
yeah, exactly. All right, Christopher. I really appreciate your time. We're going to put all your link and information in the copy, and we'll share it with all our friends on Facebook.
Sure thing. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Be safe, and we'll be sending you a copy of this.
Have a good one. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you.